I looked at him curiously. But why wouldn't you report it? Someone is bound to find it and turn it in. It's a hope I cling to. Phil chewed his bottom lip and looked out at the gleaming ocean water. Well, you see, it's from a lady friend, he said with an attempt at extreme tact. And, well, this is awkward, but, you see, her family isn't aware of our friendship. And there's a rather personal message inscribed on the back of the watch. It's all such a bother. Oh, how romantic, I smiled. Phil turned to me with the earnestness that only a 22-year-old college boy can express. Yes, I thought it was, but now... He looked at me with such lovesick eyes it took every ounce of restraint I had not to giggle. I pressed his arm. You're very, very sweet, I said. He thrust his hands in his pockets, and we walked past the crowded gymnasium. I suppose I have my nerve, cursing out old Davies for making a pass at you, then I go ahead and make just as big a fool of myself, he said miserably. I stopped him and said with as much sincerity as I could, You've paid me a very dear compliment, and at a time when I needed one. Thank you. We stopped in front of the smoking room. The warm light of the interior made the outside deck seem rather cold. A roar of hilarity came from inside, and we saw Nigel seated across the room at the card table. His hands were thrown up in the air in resignation, while the other men laughingly shook their heads at what was clearly his continuing bad luck. Mr. Bowen, Phil stammered. Well, he certainly takes his losses with good humour. He's certainly had a lot of practice lately, I said, with a tight edge in my voice. If he keeps at it, we'll be in steerage by the end of this voyage. Phil's brow furrowed. Look, if you need, well, anything. What I need, I insisted with a carefree wave, is to do a better job of distracting my husband from the card table, and to make sure no more of my few good possessions go missing. We had come to a hallway entrance, and Phil opened the door with a thoughtful look. It is odd that we both have lost a valuable early in the passage, he noted, as we approached the door to my cabin. I suppose theft is possible. Of course, it would have to be a crew member. A few of them do look rather shady. But at least you and I can trust each other. That's something. He again looked deep into my eyes, and I was afraid for a moment that he was going to try to kiss me. But he caught himself and pulled back with obvious embarrassment. And your husband too, of course, he said with a strained smile. That goes without saying. Yes, I said. That goes without saying.